Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Amazons.
Thank you so much. It's another day for another interesting topic on the Amazon. Today on the Amazons, we are talking sex after 50. At 50, many people believe that many things should slow down. It is an age when people begin to take more time to look after themselves. They begin to look after their health, embrace healthy lifestyles and habits, and generally slow things down.
After 50, people believed generally that, libido wanes and everything generally takes into a reverse gear, sex especially.
But experts disagree with that. As a matter of fact, sex therapists say that the body becomes more receptive to sex after 50. I'm excited. And today on the Amazons, we are talking sex.
Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me.
It's an exciting topic. We'll see you after the break. Thank you so much. Welcome to the Amazons, where today we are talking sex after 50. Sex, they say, makes for a healthy and happy marriage. They say no misunderstanding can endure or last after a healthy, conversation of the body in the bedroom. Sex is therapy for marriage. In point of fact, everyone who is married, and even mothers, they counsel their children that the way to a man's heart, if you want to capture a man totally, give him good food, and also be very active in the other room. And the other room is where it goes down. Exactly. Today, we are going to talk sex after 50 because people think that when you hit 50, or in fact when you hit 40, that you are not, you should quit.
I think that's actually when the real deal begins, because there is actually no limit to sex.
Exactly. Some of us are late bloomers. We do not even understand our body until we hit that certain age. That's when you begin to discover who you really are sexually. That's when you begin to appreciate what it is to be intimate with the opposite sex. That is when you begin to discover that with a good, healthy sex life, you are happy with your life.
But I think, that works more for women. For men, I think it's the other way around. That's when they tend to be a bit laid back, not because they don't want to do it. A lot of things come to play at that time, and that's when, some illnesses, like hypertension, that they tend to use drugs and, slow down things, in terms of action.
Know that there are some, extra family issues that may weigh more on the man than the woman, because the man is the head of the family. He has a responsibility and obligation to his family to look after the bills, to take care of school fees, to pay house rent, to generally take care of the family expenses. Although the women are also supportive, but it behoves on the man as the head of the family to look after this. So that can, in some certain way, affect sex life. But it is the woman's duty to make sure that even when this one is going on, you must do your duty, even to your spouse or to your partner.
And I know for sure that women, when they know and they're aware that, is menopause is setting and there's no more pregnancy, is the time to go jiggy with it.
Yes. So on the Amazons today, this is, by the way, parental control and guidance. Please, if the kids are below the age of 16, we want to talk adult things on Amazons today. After the break, we'll have our guests joining us.
you know, when you first get married, you ignore a lot of things about your spouse. You know, whether he has smelly feet, bad breath, whatever. You don't notice those things.
It is now incumbent on men as well to make sure that with our wives and with our spouses, that we ensure also that they enjoy.
Welcome back to the Amazons, where we are talking today on the Amazons is sex after 50. How receptive is the body still active after 50, both for the man and the woman? We have two guests joining us. Joe Adeyileka is a family relationship expert and host of Let's Face It with Joe. Welcome to the Amazons.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
And we have Mr. Ejike Asiegbu, who is a veteran Nollywood actor. He's been married for over 25 years. Joe and Ejike, welcome to Amazons. Tell me, after 25 years, how is the experience? Is it like the first day?
Thank you very much. Let me just correct that. This is my 23 years now.
23, 25.
We're almost there.
Yeah.
25 years, a couple of years. I have a senior colleague here who is, I'm sure she will tell everyone how many years she's been in this business, marriage business. Well, sex is a wonderful. God created man. When God created Adam and Eve, he knew what he meant at the Garden of Eden. And ever since then, life has been quite, I would say, wonderful. At 23, we're just beginning. I'm just beginning with my wife, who's younger than I, but at the same time, we thank God for understanding. And it has helped me a lot in being and staying focused. Because sex, if you do not apply in its very most interesting, passionate way, I will not be, you can see how fresh I'm looking.
Okay.
So it's therapeutic for you.
Absolutely.
It's a form of rejuvenating the marriage, and it's also to make sure that that bond between husband and wife is not compromised in any way.
So you have just said that that is still, you can tell us categorically that your sex life is still healthy in your family.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I'm just starting. Most men, God has made us to have more years to keep performing. And it is now incumbent on men as well to make sure that with our wives and with our spouses, that we ensure also that they enjoy it. It's not just only for men. So it's awesome. It's been wonderful.
Okay, for Joe, I mean, from a woman's perspective, you have been married for many years as well. You are also a coach of a marriage counselor, a relationship coach. The experience of sex, the role of sex in a marriage, and with your own experience, how is sex so vital in marriage? How does it help marriage to grow, to sustain it, and to make it healthy?
35 years I've been in this.
35 years.
Yes.
Oh my God.
And I would agree somewhat with my brother here. Sex, I think, in the early stages is just romping, really, if I can use such a word. The love aspect is not there when you get married young. You know, it's sex, it's sexy, let's just do it anytime, any place, anywhere. But as you get older and children come into the couple's life, you know, you start to sort of, it's not quite the same as it used to be.
It's not spontaneous
It's
anymore.
not spontaneous because, you know, you wake up in the middle of the night, you think, yeah, let's do. And then all of a sudden, man, and you know, that's it, it's gone. So you can't hold the thing for that long, you know, till baby is sorted out. But I think as time has gone on, sex means different It's different for both the husband and wife. I think you become more mature in your understanding. And I think as a man is maturing, some people seem to think that he's going to be active all the time. He's not. You know, there are times where external forces, his job, money, children, all of the responsibilities overtake that need, that want for sex.
You know, I was going to say that where you just got to, you know, no matter how healthy, you know, it gets, there is also a point that there is a turn-off. And for you, what has been the turn-off for you?
I think, you know, when you first get married, you ignore a lot of things about your spouse. You know, whether he has smelly feet, bad breath, whatever, you don't notice those things. And as you get deep into marriage, you start to notice, I don't particularly like the way you eat. I don't like the way you smell. I don't like so many things. So it makes enjoying sex harder as you are getting older. And you also have to try and find a way of excusing a lot. You don't have to be too pernickety about things with sex. Yes.
Okay, so that brings me to the next question for AGK. From what Jo has just explained to us now, because she's a relationship coach, so a lot of the things she's saying, she's giving free counseling here to you at home, to us here in the studio. For AGK, you know, they say after a while, the couple would, you know, just drift apart, grow apart. You know, when you start to notice smelly feet, like you say, you know, I don't like you snore. Now, before it would be like, okay, you really sleep deep. Now it becomes you snore. You know, it's, how does that affect the sex life of a married couple?
Joe was quite spot on some of the things that one has to go through once you get married. But it takes understanding, particularly on the part of both the man and the woman. She's talked about the issue of not having regular sex. She's quite spot on. When you were getting young, you always want to have it and all that. But I think what is important, maybe depending on some women, let's also think back. Some women are not even ready. You have to check the mood of your wife or your spouse or your friend, because sometimes, for men, most times we want to have it. Once we have it, once we feel it, at all times, let's just do it quickly or let's just have it. But again, we've come to also understand, I'm not speaking for all men, but some men have also come to understand their wives better. She's not in the right mood. She's not in the right frame of mind to actually have sex now. And so maybe let me give her some time, because there are so many issues, occasion from taking care of the home, getting the children, and also we're lucky. A lot of us are lucky that God has created women to be multitasked. They do a lot of things, and they take care of a lot of things at home and at work and still have time. So a lot of men also need to understand when they come back, we need to make sure they relax well to be in the state of mind.
Before you hit them with...
Before you actually hit them.
Okay.
While some women, though, some women prefer, you've not even looked at me. Some of those nice things you tell her, you look good, you look great, you look, you know, will also relax her and also help her out with whatever she wants to do. She wants to go to the kitchen. She wants to prepare some things. If you are you're the type that also knows how to cook and remove her shoes and make sure she's just in the right mood. You know, for some of us who prefer to kiss her, and you know, you bring her out from that mood. Because relationship, love making, has its own body language. You don't have to wait to start asking your spouse, when are we going to have it, or this is the particular time. You can have it in the kitchen. You can have it in the parlor. You can have it anywhere.
Actually, there's a survey, the 2017 survey, that said 96% of couples who had a healthy and enjoyable sex life had good communication. So communication is the first sexual tool.
Okay, I was going to
Verbal communication, body communication,
every form of
signs, symptoms,
okay, love languages.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So I was going to ask you, Joe, that what do you think, or at what point do you think it affects when the bedroom becomes cold? What does it affect?
Well, definitely when there's a lack of communication. If I want to, if I'm looking at you eye to eye and you're not even taking in any notice of me, you've already broken that chain. And I always say that the biggest sex organ is the brain. It's not actually the genitals.
When it's up there.
When it's up there, that's the sexiest organ in our body. So if you have a husband who will rub your hand, say nothing, but it means so much, that is sex in itself. Or you have a wife who phones her husband to say, can I cook your favorite meal tonight? He's already...
You just take the...
Sure. I mean, if I could tell you a story of a couple who the wife was so busy at work, the husband left work early, came home, tidied up the house, cooked fish stew, cooked rice. When the wife came home, they didn't eat for 2 hours because...
Yeah. See, this is getting more interesting as more revelation come. A lot of us just think that sex is that act in the bedroom, you know, whether spontaneous, thought about, thought for, you know, prepared for, and all of that. But it's actually beyond that, as we are beginning to learn from our guests now, Joe and AGK. We'll talk more sex after we come back. You are still watching The Amazons.
I mean, if I could tell you a story of a couple who the wife was so busy at work, the husband left work early, came home, tidied up the house, cooked fish stew, cooked rice. When the wife came home, they didn't eat for 2 hours because...
Yeah. Welcome back to The Amazons, where today we are looking at sex after 50, after a certain age, when people think that many things should slow down, including sex. At 50, sex therapists say the body is more even receptive to sex at that age. And we have our guest still with us here. Joe Adeyileka is a relationship coach and a marriage counselor. She's also the host of Let's Face It with Joe. And then, of course, veteran Nollywood actor AGK Asiego. So before we went on the break, we were talking that sex is not only, you know, that act in the bedroom. Sex can be communication, it can be the way that you look, it can be compliments, it can be, you know, just body language. You can even make, you know, have sex, not saying anything, but saying a lot. You understand what I mean? Some men do not find it easy to communicate or give compliments to their wives, which is sometimes where the problem starts in the bedroom. The wife goes out to, you know, just do something different today. Okay, you know, I'm going to really show the other side of me. I'm going to be adventurous in the bedroom today. You go out, get some nice looking lingerie that you wear, smell nice, even do your hair, and just want to be naughty, you know. And the husband just walks in and just not just doesn't take notice of anything. Joe, how do you handle that?
Well, first of all, a woman has to have self-confidence. You've got to know yourself. I mean, some women are in the house now, they're wearing wrapper, nets, head tie. You know, how can a man be turned on with that? So you have to sell the sex to your spouse. Come on. There's no figure that a woman can have that she cannot be sexy. You know, whether you're a size 8 or you're a size 18, it does not matter. Be confident in yourself. If your husband, I mean, I know what I do, but even if your husband is not really moved by what you're wearing or how you look or how you smell, go and sit on his knee, for goodness sake, and get him, you know, and force him to get going, you know. And you've just got to talk about sex. Don't just think it's something you discuss in the bedroom. When the children are not around, talk about sex. Yeah, you know, have your own pet names about sex, you know. Make it saucy, make it great, you know, you can't...
Have your own code.
Yes,
you know?
your code.
When I give that code, you know what I mean.
You know what I mean.
Yeah.
And in this day and age, you know, the young people don't really give a hoot. Maybe people in my own generation might think, if I go too far with this man, he'll think I'm just loose. Women are not loose. You know, this sex is there for both men and for the women. They should be enjoyed equally. You know, they should try and do things they've never done before. Go into positions they've never been in before.
Yeah.
You know, it's...
But quick one, Joe. Don't you think that women, most importantly, or most especially at this point, feels that, oh, he understands me. He knows me. He knows how I am. He knows my capabilities. He knows everything. And I can, you know, get away with something probably, he knows that I don't really like to, you know, go long when it comes to the bedroom. You know what I mean? So don't you think women are wrong when what do you think about women that do that? They just want to believe that, oh, he understands it and he will cope with it.
He will not understand. He will not cope. He will go out and he will get what you are not giving him.
Facts.
That's just it. So there should be no, I mean, where two people agree, it's fine. So a bedroom should be an adventure, you know, and especially after 50, where most children have gone, they're in university or whatever. There is nothing wrong with starting your sex from the door and leading it, ending up in the bedroom. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, you should be free. But I also want to add that culturally, in this country, we tend to make it look as though it's something very private that, you know, maybe you should have a rota for it or whatever. Or there should be a way, step 1, step 2 to 10, whatever. But no, it should be spontaneous. And also, on the other hand, if a man can see or a woman can see that their spouse is under stress, then cool off. It can't be sexy every day, but whenever you do it, make it worthwhile.
You see, we're having a therapy here, some sort, from Joe and Coach, and I'm sure that married couples at home, you are learning a lot here. You know, abroad, you will be paying to get the information that Joe is giving out. But for AGK, Joe said something about, you know, flirt with your husband, flirt with your wife. Flirt. Flirt means, you know, you can come and hug your husband from behind. You can smack his bum bum, you know, when he's not expecting it. You can come and sit on his lap. Just you know, make him get interested, make him notice you, make him want to, you know, see his wife, you know, in a certain different way that is pleasant to him. As a man, how would you want your, you know, your wife to really begin to change? What are the things that you want her to?
We're already practicing. I do that. I'm already a naturalist when it comes to that with my wife. I also recommend to women, there is no need. Yes, all those things you wear to around. Go naked. You're with your husband.
I like it.
Go naked.
I like it.
This is a natural thing. Remove those clothes, and that you can, even if you're not even having to make love, both of you are lying naked, you can imagine the feeling, the connection, the energy that goes with holding your wife naked and both of you are holding each other both naked.
My God.
It's so wonderful. And also kissing yourselves, a lot of touching, and also have a listening ear. For me, I have learned a lot dealing with my wife. A lot of women want us men to always listen to them when they are talking. They want to make a point. Sometimes we want to doze off after sex. Let's try and also ensure that they go to bed, they sleep before us, because both of you have enjoyed it, both of you have reached orgasm, and both of you, it's your duty. Because if we are selfish, unknowingly we come before the woman, we should also make sure that that woman comes. It's something that is very, very key and critical. Otherwise, you'll be doing something. She will never like you for that. She will not love you for that.
Thank you so much, Joe Adeileka. family and relationship coach, and also, let's face it, with Joe. She's the host, and of course, Ejike Asego, veteran Nollywood actor. Thank you so much. Today on the Amazons, we talked about it. It was meant for some kind of check to help marriages and relationships, and we hope that you have learned one or two things on this program today, where we really talked about sex. I'm Aisha Falode. We'll see you again next time on the Amazons. Bye-bye.